Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Rygal. How you holding up, dude?
Pretty good, man. How are you? A couple
Uh,
weeks out from WrestleMania.
yeah, we're on countdown.
So, what did you think about this week's Raw? In this go home kind of stretch
I
towards
thought,
WrestleMania.
I actually thought, unlike Fastlane, Raw was probably the best Raw they've had in quite some time.
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree. So, I thought it was a pretty well put together show. I watched it in two segments because I'm an old man. I go to sleep early. Some high points. Still not into some stuff, but yeah, it was definitely a rebound after a terrible pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm trying to really think. The pay per view, I thought the Enzo and Cass match was okay with the club. That was like an old school wrestling, like '80s tag match. I'm trying to think. Gallagher and Neville might have had the match of the night.
Yeah, but there was just some really, really, really like other than the obvious main event, some really questionable booking decisions made.
Absolutely.
Um, the only thing I can understand maybe they're doing with Roman is if they're gonna use this to turn him heel eventually against against Undertaker, which is what I've been saying for a while. I could see them turning him heel
I
at
think,
Mania by
and
cheating.
I've said this to other people, dude. I think that is quite possibly the only way you can save him in this because this is just my personal opinion. If you keep him a face and have him beat The Undertaker clean at WrestleMania, that is really going to turn a lot of people off.
Oh, that absolutely. But if you turn him heel and do it, you're gonna really piss people off.
Then
But
you
it's
got
done in
something,
story mode.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then you could go with that with a heel character, and I mean, like think about all the faces he could go against. I mean, like it's possible. I mean, he could be a heel. I think he could do a good job as a heel.
Well, he was originally when he was in NXT. He was that like cocky, arrogant heel before he was in the Shield.
Yeah, but that was for a very short period of time. That was a very short-lived gimmick. That
Right, but
wasn't a
I mean,
long-term thing.
I
Because
know, but I
originally
mean, you
he
could
was
see that he
Leia
had
Key.
the potential to do it.
Oh, possibly, yeah. I mean, like, we'll see, but yeah, he needs to be a heel. I agree.
I
This
just,
needs to go with him being
I
a heel.
just think he needs, a complete. I don't want to say like gimmick change, but a complete just new
Makeover.
look.
Hmm. A
Get rid of the
makeover.
shield gear, get rid of everything. Just be something completely different.
Absolutely. You don't need to wear wrestling tights, but, I mean, come on. He's got a fucking $1 million body. Show it off.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
I mean, he's definitely not a guy who has a physique issue.
No, not at
So
all.
I don't know what they're covering up.
I like the Kevin Owens Jericho thing to open the show.
Oh, yeah. Those two are gold, though. But what I didn't like, Owens comes out and immediately says, I don't care about my title. I want to come after yours. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not believing that. After everything he said about being champion and what it meant to him and all that, now he's just going to say, I don't care about my rematch because I want to take your belt. Come on
It'd
now.
be different if it was just as an example. If it was, say, I lost the television title and now I want the U.S. title. Not when you're friggin' king of the
Yes.
mountain, the world heavyweight champion. Goes, nah, I don't want a rematch. I want this secondary belt.
Exactly. When you are the champion of the flagship brand, it makes no sense to suddenly just be content on the biggest stage of all instead of getting your rematch fighting for a second tier belt. You're exactly right.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's strange to me. I do like that they're probably at some point gonna have this new little like stable with Triple H and Samoa Joe and him.
That could be interesting.
Cause I've read rumors for weeks that that is like the plan. They're gonna do. I don't know if you like some like revamp of Evolution or something to that extent.
But that's it. They need to do something. They've tried with factions a lot lately, and none of them ever really took off the way a faction's supposed to. Like, think about the Authority. Um, it just comes off as a group, not a faction. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, a faction, you have people in different weight classes. You have a tag team. Like, there's defined roles. It's not one guy and a bunch of corporate. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, they've
yeah, I
kind
know
of
exactly
fucked
what
up.
you're saying. Like with the Horsemen, they had the tag guys, Arn and Tully, and then or Arn and Ole, and then Tully could be the singles mid card guy, and then Flair was the world champion.
Yeah, or you had a heavy, like your bruiser, your tough guy, like your bodyguard, like in some groups. The Nexus was a perfect example of what could have been a great faction.
Yes.
You know, young talent in every division, and to capture like to me a good faction can hold every title eventually.
Yeah.
In a properly booked or in a even halfway decently booked storyline can realistically be booked to hold every title. If you don't fit that criteria, you're not a good faction.
No.
But if they do it like this, they would need somebody else. You can't have a two-man faction. Unless you're Stone Cold and Triple H.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one thing I really didn't like, and it wasn't necessarily a match on Raw, it's just the New Day to me, even their segments now, I'm just like, ugh.
They're bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like, it's hard to watch. That's really the
Yeah.
only thing I remember being that was, like, really not interesting.
Well, yeah. My only other issue with Fastlane was ending Charlotte's streak.
Oh, yeah, that's a
On-
big one.
This isn't even a secondary pay-per-view. This is like a tertiary pay-per-view. This is like the biggest throwaway pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's like we had probably discussed before. If you're going to have her lose her streak, let it be at Mania. Make it mean something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you got your main four, and then you got, like, Elimination Chamber. Like, then you have, like your gimmick pay-per-views that I would still put up there as, like, second tier. Man, this is the one pay-per-view that really, for the most part, has always been the garbage throwaway.
Yeah, the
And
third.
you're gonna have
We'll call it the third tier.
tertiary, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have her, like, you've been building up this streak, and like even the whole way that they did it with Sasha coming out and not interfering, like babyface interfering. You know what I mean? Like doing
Yeah.
the good stuff. Hey, like, hey ref, look at this, and I don't know, like that was weird. Babyface interfering, but while not actually interfering.
Yeah, that's something usually a heel would do.
Yeah, like especially with the music playing. Okay, well I didn't do anything. Okay, and then ref, look, her foot's on the rope.
Yeah. It's just a really strange booking.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. I don't know why you have Bayley going in as champion. Sorry, I got the worst hiccups in the world.
You're fine.
That ever happened to you in the middle of talking? You just get hiccups and then they
Yes.
just go away. Oh Jesus, that's terrible.
Oh, it's the worst, man. The Lesnar Goldberg thing, they can shove it. I don't care.
No, it just makes me interested with what are they gonna do, like at the next pay-per-view, like Lesnar Owens.
It's possible because he's actually fighting Lesnar on a house show coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's been the biggest mark for that match since he was in NXT.
Yeah, I
he
read
wants to fight
something
Lesnar.
where him and Owens are having a house show match between now and Mania.
It's gonna be very interesting, but I definitely see Brock walking out there with the title. They
Oh
don't book
yeah.
Brock to lose like that.
And
And
I think where they're gonna go is Brock's gonna basically put over, I guess, whoever they want to have another run.
yeah, I don't get it. Like back on Brock. Like it hardly got defended the last time. I mean, are they gonna keep it on him to fucking SummerSlam? You know what they're probably gonna do? I bet you anything. Have him lose it to Balor at SummerSlam. Redo last year's SummerSlam.
You're gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but I would have him lose it the next night on Raw.
You know, I would love that. But I could just see WWE.
I know
like,
that because they wouldn't do that.
No, that would be fucking brilliant.
Because I would like personally the way they've been building him up, and now that I think about it, he had a really good match at Fastlane 2. Is have not that it's gonna happen, but have Samoa Joe beat him.
Yeah, but how would you set that up so quickly?
I know.
Like to make sense. I mean, like, I'm pretty much thinking that I don't know what Lesnar's gonna walk in as a heel or babyface.
Yeah.
And half the crowd's gonna be the nostalgia who really are happy to see Goldberg win. I mean, like Goldberg as champion, and half of them I think are gonna be, you know, Lesnar fans who don't think that Lesnar has any. I mean, that doesn't think Goldberg has anything to do in the ring.
Yeah.
So I don't know. When I told my very casual fan physical therapist guy about Goldberg winning, he said, "No, you're shitting me, right?" This is a casual fan that they're catering to.
Yeah.
Like he was like, "No way did they do that." Yes way, buddy.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, which I like talking to those people because it gives me an insight we don't have because we're fucking marks and we overanalyze everything.
I wanted to throw this out there, not that this had anything to do with Raw real quick before we move to SmackDown. I was really impressed with Braun Strowman's match against Roman at the pay-per-view.
Yes. Braun has really begun to win me over the last couple months, especially with the last two big matches he's had with Big Show and now with Roman.
I was amazed, especially the top rope spot that he did.
Yeah, he's a lot more agile, I'm guessing, than WWE has let on. So
I was just like, Jesus.
I mean, homie could do a kip up, so.
Yeah. All right, bro. What did you think of SmackDown this week?
I've actually really liked The Miz. So to me, that's kind of what I'm taking away the most from SmackDown is I can't believe that they let him even bring up the contract Nikki Bella had to sign to date John Cena. Like, they're bringing up legitimate stuff.
It's been fantastic.
But that pretty much overshadows like that. The AJ match, it is what it is. Kind of expected this. Did you see the exclusive where AJ blows up with Shane in the back?
Yes.
Road Dogg jumps in. So what I'm curious about is how they're gonna go from Shane's been the one who's been pushing for AJ, should have been the one to keep his spot because he won it, whereas Daniel Bryan's the one who was like, no, I think Randy should get it because he won the Rumble.
Yeah.
So, and now they're going to have AJ mad at Shane when Shane was on his
Shane
side.
was the one that defended him.
So I'm curious, like, because that was brought up during Talking Smack. Daniel Bryan actually brought it up, said, that's what I don't understand what AJ is, Shane was the one defending him.
Yeah, you mentioned Talking Smack. How about the altercation with Daniel Bryan and The Miz?
Oh, it's always fucking gold between those two.
Well, and Daniel Bryan basically giving people the hint that, hey, once my contract's up, I'm getting the hell out of here.
That's sure as fuck what it sounded like.
I know. I was just like, because it's like, we'll see in like a year and a half. And I was just like, oh, wow.
I mean, when his contract is up, I mean, if he could be cleared, like if it's really not a health issue, then he shouldn't be forced to retire.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I mean, he's seen enough specialists. I mean, I don't think lack of knowledge is his problem. I mean,
And maybe, quite honestly, he could be like Shawn Michaels in a way. I mean, I know it's a different injury, but still, that maybe all this time he took off really helped him.
yeah.
But who knows, you know? I gotta be honest with you, the AJ Orton match, I just didn't personally care for it.
I don't think it was a bad match, but yeah, it's not one of those matches that got me super hyped.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was like bad, but it wasn't like, how do I want to say this? Like, oh my god, I have to watch this.
No, I agree.
Because it was just kind of like blah. I do like though that they kept Bray Wyatt off of TV this week
Yeah, no, I agree.
to kind of like what the fuck is he gonna do? You know, like make you think about it for another week.
Yeah, no,
What was your thoughts on the Ambrose Corbin thing where Corbin attacked him in the back?
I think it's very old school. I don't think we've seen that for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of curious where this goes. I mean, I'm beginning to like Baron Corbin a little bit, so if this goes the right way, I'm okay with it. Because, Dean's good enough to make just about anybody look good. And
Yeah, I don't know if it's just and I hate to say it like this, that I've grown tired of Ambrose, but it's just like
yeah,
I can't really get like excited or about him anymore.
yeah, no, I understand. It's been less than great booking.
It seems like they always do that to their champions.
Guess they want to try to validate them taking the title off for some reason.
Yeah, it's just weird. All right, did you see 205 Live?
I did not.
They actually had one of the matches that I really enjoyed, which was the main event, was Tony Nese and Austin Aries.
Oh. Why do I think I did see that then?
And he hit him with the what the hell? The clothesline.
Last Chancery? Oh,
That like elbow clothesline thing.
yeah.
I forget what he calls it. But that was a really good match. They gave him like about a good 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So like they had time.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what's going to be going forward with Neville and Austin Aries, but it makes me wonder, like, what's going to happen to my homie fucking Jack Gallagher?
Yeah. It's almost like he's going to get put out in the cold.
Hope not. But yeah, they don't really have a good track record of what they do with people after they fight for a title.
No, not at all. I completely agree with that. I will say this, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. The thing they keep teasing, like the thing with Kendrick and Tozawa, and I'm wishing they would just like have another match. Maybe they're trying to milk it for Mania. I don't know.
I mean, that could be awesome.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
do
really
it right.
could be awesome.
Excuse me. But yeah, I agree with you. It could be awesome. And then they had it was a tag match where Noam Dar took another fall.
Yeah, I don't think they know what to do with him.
I know. I think they should just let him be himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know if WWE knows what that means.
That's very true. I completely agree with you there. All right, NXT this week. Did you check it out?
I saw parts of NXT. I intended to watch the whole main event, like I started to, and I was like, "Fuck it, let me watch this all in one sitting." I just never got around to it because,
It's
like I
all
said, I've
good.
been so busy.
Um, I was surprised they showed the Ember Moon match where Billy
She got
Kay got hurt.
well. Now they're doing a whole thing on WWE.com. Should the move be banned and all this other stuff? Yeah, kayfabe, of course, but
Yeah, well, that's actually smart when you think about it.
yep, make the move look that much more dangerous.
And I saw her Twitter account. She said she's okay. She just like jacked her neck up.
Yeah.
So that's good news. I really enjoyed the main event.
Yeah. See, I heard good things, so I want to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it was Perkins and Nakamura. They got about almost 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're both great workers. Actually, I just introduced my best friend to Nakamura because somehow he's managed to go this long without knowing who he is. And he watched Takeover Brooklyn, and he watched AJ versus Nakamura, and he was like, "Holy shit, this is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen."
Yep. I was really impressed how Perkins could go like move for move with him. Not that I necessarily thought TJ Perkins was bad, but you understand what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, how good he is.
I think it gets overlooked sometimes
I think so.
because how do I want to say it? He doesn't really have like a character. He's kind of like dry,
Yeah, he's just him.
which so I guess sometimes you might be right. That necessarily doesn't help you if you just yourself. I'm trying to think there because there was another match I think in there. Oh, it was Sanity where they came out and beat up Dillinger and Roderick Strong.
Yeah, that's what one of my buddies said. Oh my god, is that Eric Young? 'Cause he doesn't watch NXT really.
Yeah,
I'm like, yep, but he knew Bobby Roode was there.
right. And now this coming week it is Chris Hero versus Bobby Roode for the NXT title.
Yes, but I've already read the spoilers, and I won't say who
Yeah,
wins.
yeah, I didn't read it. I usually try to avoid them unless something like big happened, you know? Then I can't help myself.
Yeah,
But what do we have? Like 3 weeks? 3 weeks from Sunday is Mania.
I believe so. Yes.
And I'm looking and the card's pretty much set except for what? One or two matches?
I'm actually hearing that. I don't know if I said this on air or not. I'm hearing that the Big Show match may actually be on again. Big Show show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We did
yeah, you didn't
talk
say
about
that on air.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a pothead.
Nah, you're good. It'll be interesting
Oh.
if they do it.
Yeah, no, that would be cool as fuck.
There was, and then I read rumors there were talks of a multi cruiserweight match.
I've heard something similar.
I don't know. First I heard it could be like a ladder match, and then I've heard just a multi-person match.
Interesting.
I was thinking, and I don't know if they would do this because it would potentially like fuck up Money in the Bank, but I don't know if they would do it for the cruisers. Have like a ladder match, and what's on top of the ladder is like a contract to wrestle the champion, whoever it is.
Yes, I mean, it's or just make it straight up for the title.
That too, yeah.
6-man ladder match for the title.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I
their
mean,
big thing. They always like to have a multi-man ladder match at Mania.
yeah, no, I agree.
I think that would be cool. Because this whole, like, Alexa Bliss versus the whole, like, SmackDown women's roster is just like, okay.
Well, for her to come out and like beat everybody.
Kind of like run the gauntlet, I guess.
Well, what should just end up being like a battle royal?
Yeah. And I'd put money on it that it's on the pre-show.
Probably.
Lance says, do we know if they're doing the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, they are.
And that's the only like that's where Braun Strowman's gonna be.
I'm figuring that's what they were going to do with him. They're going to have him win that.
Yeah, but what about a guy like Titus O'Neil? No, I'm kidding.
That's funny. You
But yeah,
never
I
know
mean-
with Vince and them. Because remember they wanted the Andre the Giant Battle Royal thing to be a big thing, and then Cesaro won it and he got shit on.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I was like, yeah, they're gonna push him. They had him like lift up Big Show, walk his fat ass across the ring, and drop him out.
Nope.
Yep, nothing.
That's where that's headed to. Going to be Cesaro and Sheamus, Enzo and Cass, and the club for the Raw belts.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I read the thing and I was just like, ugh. They're saying that Mania is probably going to be 6 hours or more. When you include the pre-show.
Do you hear my enthusiasm?
Yeah, exactly. Let me put it like this. You'll get up at... What time does Wrestle Kingdom usually come on in the States?
3 a.m.
You'd get up for that, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm up at that time in the morning, instead of going back to sleep, I watch Wrestle Kingdom.
Hell yeah.
I won't set my alarm for it though. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's what the internet is for. That's what watch wrestling is for. Somebody
Alright,
else is up at 3 o'clock in the morning recording it for me.
Yeah. I wanted to briefly touch on Impact since they are rebranding now. The name TNA is officially dead.
Yeah, last night I don't think was the greatest way to go with the whole Josh Matthews thing, but reading ahead what I've read, like, pretty sure he's not going to be around for long, so if people are kind of upset over it, like, just give it at least 4 weeks and cheer my boy on.
Yeah, I'm totally going to keep watching it because it's a few of the local WrestlePro guys and then well, I don't want to say that because that would be spoiling an upcoming show, but there's other local talent that I know that are going to be on the show.
They've been announced already, though.
Oh, have they?
I'm pretty certain.
Okay.
Because Conan posted Twitter pictures of everybody at the tapings, the new LAX.
Yeah. The guys that in CZW, they were called EYFBO.
But what the fuck did they even stand for? I was always curious.
I don't know. I don't know what it stands for. But they are fantastic wrestlers. Like, I've seen them numerous times live. They should translate really well. If they let them do their thing, of course.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
The one thing I will say, and I don't know if you remember me, and I think I messaged you about this. I watched that main event last night with Alberto El Patron and Lashley, and I'm just like, wow, Bobby Lashley has not gotten better in the ring.
No, he's just a big muscle-bound idiot.
Yeah, I was just like, you. like, this is terrible. But I mean, like you said, I'm giving them a chance because it's, the first show after they're kind of wiping the slate clean. And I actually really like Decay. I've always enjoyed them, so I'm curious to see where they're going to go with them.
Yeah, I'm a very big fan of Abyss. I have been for a long time.
Yeah, I wish actually he would have got out years ago when they were going to let him come and wrestle Taker at Mania.
I agree.
I think that would have been really cool, but I think he was just scared to kind of do it,
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, it makes sense. And
join a new company to go against the Godfather.
Yeah, you got a point.
I mean, some people talk shit like, yeah, I do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, a lot of people do it in a heartbeat. And see, I mean, like, other guys in WWE say the most fucking scariest thing in the world is being out there when his entrance hits. Like, they know the guy. Like, they're friends with the guy. And they say it's one of the creepier things that.
Yeah, Steve Austin's even said it. He said the hair on the back of my neck stands up.
Yeah, he said one of the times he's like, I seen it 100 times before. One time I'm just standing there and I forgot everything we were gonna do.
I want to ask you this question because I don't super follow Impact.
Well, I haven't either, so
I'm just curious if you know this. Why is the Pope an announcer now?
No idea.
And for those of you that aren't familiar, the Pope in Impact was, Christ, I just lost Elijah Burke in WWE.
Yeah, D'Angelo De Niro.
Yeah, I actually like that gimmick.
I like the fucking street Pope, like the black preacher.
And I was just curious why he was. I mean, he was good, but I was just like, this dude can fucking work when they let him.
No. CM Punk was one of his biggest criticizers because the match he had with CM Punk, you see how fucking green he is, and at one point he just runs across the ring and fucking delivers 2 knees to CM Punk, but did nothing to protect CM Punk.
Ooh.
Just went and fucking tips to the knees first, and you hear CM Punk go, "Fuck, that hurt."
Oh. That's gotta suck. Well, then I understand why CM Punk was angry. Because you can't be doing that shit in the ring. You there, dude?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Now, it's funny you mentioned Punk. AJ Lee's book is getting ready to come out. I think
on the 4th.
Yeah, thank you.
I actually only know that because I heard Dino talking about it during his show today, and I looked it up just to see if it was out yet.
What's it, April 4th?
Yeah, next month.
Okay, and I'm really curious to hear about it. I don't know if I'll read it, but I've heard it's not really a book trashing WWE. It's more like all about her story, like her life and everything. And
well, that's what I expected it to be. I don't know why not you, but I know other people expected it to be like some tell-all trash book. It's like, but what makes you think that? She was treated fine. Her husband was mistreated. It had nothing to do with her. But I see people like, oh, she's going to try. I can't wait to read it. She's going to bury them. Why? She was with the company longer and didn't resign. She didn't have no ill will with the company.
Yeah.
She was their longest reigning champion for a long time, even after her husband left.
Yeah. It's just she was at a point in her life, I think, where she didn't want it anymore.
That's why I don't understand. Like, she's literally piggybacking off the fact that she's CM Punk's wife. 'Cause what the fuck else does anybody care? You're a girl who used to fuck Jay Lethal, and then you made it to the WWE. Like, seriously, like, do you really care about the Rosa Mendez story? She's probably been through more shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just because she's married to CM Punk, and CM Punk had everything go wrong. I mean, really, what else did AJ do? She's not great in the ring. She never could hit the ropes properly, so she wasn't like she was manufactured, and
Yep.
and if she wasn't a hot female, she never would have gone anywhere. The only reason why she went anything was because she's a hot female, and the male fans went after her. She's never a good worker.
I know exactly
Find
what
me,
you're talking about with the ropes, and that irks me.
yeah, she'd have both her arms up and take it almost under her armpits. And then I seen Ava Marie hit the ropes and take them like a champ, like legit hit the ropes like a man hits the ropes. And I hate to say like a man because I'm not sexist, but
No, I know exactly what you're saying, like a regular person would.
lean into it, take that full lean bounce off. Whereas AJ would kind of stutter step before she'd hit the rope to like cut down her speed, and kind of have her arms up to bounce off the rope instead of that she was just being thrown against the rope.
Yeah, like to protect herself.
Yeah, and that you like if you got to protect yourself from that.
Then you're in the wrong business.
Yeah, I just never got it with her, so I don't understand why so many people have a hype over her book.
Well, it's kind of the thing with Matt Hardy's wife, because she went on, and I didn't forgot to mention to you this off air. Went on like a Twitter like rant a couple
Yeah.
hours ago about TNA.
A couple of hours ago, or the one that was like from a week and a half ago, where it was like 10 different tweets. 'Cause that's not new. If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's not new.
I don't know. It's the one.
Unless she came out with a new one today.
Okay, it might be the same thing, but either way, she just went on like a rant about like the court case that's coming up over the TNA saying that they own the Broken Hardys gimmick.
Well, it really does come down to the language that's in their contract. If it comes out that they own the creative licenses, like any intellectual property, then by law, then yes, then Impact would indeed own the gimmick.
Yeah, it's just how do I want to? You're not helping your case by going on social media and trashing another company.
Again, it all comes down to the wording. If they
Yeah.
know that he's legally okay to use that, then it's not going to hurt your case if you're in the right to begin with.
Right.
It may not look professional, but it's at one of the points. If you're right, does professionalism really matter in that situation? I mean, I'm always the first one to trash Rebby, so I mean, like, I'm by no means a Rebby supporter. I don't like
I'm
that
not
lady.
in any sense of the word.
But I mean, this is interesting. It comes down to how things are worded, and I don't know. It'd be interesting because I don't know how valuable he'd be without that gimmick.
I was going to say the same thing. Because he completely reinvented himself.
Absolutely.
And what you mentioned earlier about them in Ring of Honor is actually very interesting as well.
What?
With their contracts.
Oh, yeah, with it being a possible just a temporary stopgap, yeah.
Yeah, where they could basically go there for a month and still, if they so choose, if it works out, be at Mania.
Yep.
Which would be very interesting, but I don't know if Vince would want to do it because I actually think he would rather bring Matt back before he would bring Jeff back.
But why? Jeff's been completely clean for years.
I know, I'm just assuming that's how Vince would be.
He's brought back Jake the Snake and Razor Ramon, and they were much worse than Matt Hardy ever was. Or Jeff.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he has a body of work to show for the fact that he's been clean for all of this time. I mean, like, he's been on TV with enough regularity that you can see that the guy is not on drugs anymore. The guy looks healthy. I mean, plus, if it makes money, I mean, he's fucking sealed bridges with everybody. I mean, Bruno Sammartino's in the Hall of Fame.
That's true.
The Warrior's in the Hall of Fame, and the Warrior held him up for money and got fired the second he walked through the curtain. Or got suspended the second he walked through the curtain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't think that a guy's personal flaw 10 years ago would prevent Vince from bringing in possibly the hottest act in wrestling in a long time.
I'm curious what they would do with them if they did come in.
Yeah, see, that's where I think the problem would lie.
The
Because there's only
creative.
so much Vince is going to allow them to do. There will be no final deletion.
Yeah, it would basically be a watered down version.
Yeah, and I think watered down is even a terrible term. I think it would be all water.
Yeah, like
But yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it
yeah,
would be
like
anywhere in the
my
same vein.
thinking would be, and I don't know how correct this would be, that they would have them go up against the Wyatts because that's what everyone had been talking about on Twitter.
No, because they're not creepy.
I know,
I don't want to see that. That'd be fucking terrible.
I know. Like Lance just said, Vince would screw it up and Matt would be version 3.0. That
I
that
mean,
would
yeah,
not
I mean,
that would not surprise me one bit.
I think for them to come back, I think enough of it would have to be concrete and drawn out before they came back of what they would be willing to do and what they wouldn't. Like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how much creative freedom we're willing to give the gimmick.
Yeah, like how much you're gonna let me be able to say yes and no to.
Yeah.
That makes absolute sense.
I mean, I just think it would be the safest bet that all parties know what they're getting involved in. Vince would know what they expect to do, and then the Hardys would know how far Vince would let them go with stuff.
Yeah.
Because it would suck to sign them to this lucrative contract and find out that they're going to be like just curtain jerkers. We're getting 2-minute segments
Yeah,
once a
and they're
week.
like stuck in hell basically.
Yeah, no, like they need to continue this. They need to at least show up at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I wanted your opinion on this person. I don't know if you remember it from last night really quick cuz I'm actually going to see her live next Saturday and I want to see how she looks live was Paul Ellering's daughter, Rachel.
That's a strong lady. She's like a power lifter.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that on NXT. That's about one of the few takeaways that I did get from that. Oh, well, I guess I did watch NXT then. No, not NXT.
Impact.
What? Impact. Okay, okay. So yeah, that I did see.
I just thought her match. I don't remember who she wrestled, but it was just kind
Um,
of like a clusterfuck.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
The name just didn't ring a bell to me.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, Sienna.
Okay, yeah.
That that's who Kevin Matthews is coming in as her cousin.
Oh, okay.
'Cause she was just in a big feud with Maria and Mike Bennett. Like she was Maria's heavy,
Gotcha.
and there's this chick Allie who was supposed to marry this guy Braxton Sutter. Actually, no, she was kind of like the Cinderella, and Maria would pick on her and stuff. But then she wanted Braxton Sutter to marry this chick, Laurel Van Ness, and apparently her new character is Drunken Laurel, and it's apparently hysterical because she wrestles in her wedding dress, still drunk,
Oh no.
and apparently it's fucking hysterical. But Braxton Sutter ends up not marrying her, kissing Allie, and that's how it all ended 2
Yeah,
weeks ago.
I saw the highlight of that.
Okay, so Kevin comes in and his first fight is against Braxton Sutter.
Okay.
Without giving anything else away, because that's not really a tremendous spoiler.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I don't think anybody here is gonna fucking get mad that I told them Kevin Matthews spoiler.
Yeah,
And if you do, you need a fucking life.
yeah, that's funny. I'm just happy to see local guys, making it and getting a little love.
Yeah, Kevin's getting 2 years worth of love. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Like fucking NWA, TNA, WCW champion right there.
Yeah, now I wonder if they'll, because I know TNA's weird. Well, I keep saying TNA. Impact is weird like this if they let guys still do indie dates.
Some guys, apparently, part of the discussion with the Hardys was the fact that they wanted a percentage of stuff. And I'm thinking that the bigger names are getting exclusives because they're getting more money put to them. But I don't think you could give a guy like Kevin a deal where you're like, well, you can't work indies.
Yeah.
Because I don't, I mean, like, I think the top guys, absolutely.
Because I've heard
Or,
from other people that there some TNA within the last 6 months to a year would like kind of control their bookings. Like
none of that matters anymore. That's all gone. It's now owned by Anthem. Everything is out the window.
Oh, okay. The only reason I mentioned that is because I had met Moose in August, I want to say, and I had heard that they brought him there.
Well, here's the deal. People have contracts that are signed, so whatever they're doing now, I don't know if it's the same, but some people did have it tied in where they could only do certain dates or they couldn't do televised dates. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Because there's actually, if you go back and watch one of the Hardy things, there's a referee who works for a rival promotion.
Yeah, they had to blur him out.
Exactly, because somebody's contract, he couldn't be on TV. It's even something as stupid as that. But as far as working other indie dates, apparently that was one of the breaking points for the Hardys, because Anthem wanted a percentage of their indie dates.
Interesting.
And that's where they were kind of like, oh, no. So I don't know if it's like that for everybody. I can't see them doing it for the smaller tier guys. Guys that are just getting signed to smaller contracts.
Yeah, that would cripple them.
Yeah, like if your boys end up getting signed, like to a kind of deal, I don't see them saying, well, you can't work here. But also, I think, do they have experience working with Jarrett for Global Force?
I don't know.
Because a lot of these guys, I believe, coming in now, he's worked with Global Force.
It's very possible, but I'm not sure.
Because I think that's why they're getting an opportunity. Because he's done business with them. He sees how they work.
Gotcha.
I think Kevin put Moose over like 3 or 4 times in a row. Because Moose was the bigger name.
Okay.
I mean, if you have that kind of fucking mentality, that's the one thing I can say. If you have the mentality of pin me, pay me, you'll get work forever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's some guys that are just like, oh, who do you want me to job to? This 15-pound kid? Okay, pay me. I don't give a shit. Pay me. Pin me, pay me. This will work.
Yeah. More
people
guys
who take
need
that
to
shit
think
serious.
that way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not about wins and losses.
I believe Axe and Smash, up until recently. Actually, Smash is dead, but I think while they were alive, I think they were the ones who were like, yo, we got to protect the gimmick. Either them or it was the Berserker. I heard some story, and they're like, it's fucking 2007 or 2010. Like, what are you talking about? Protect your gimmick. You
Yeah,
were hot
dude, it's like you've been
20-something
on television for 20 years.
Bro, you're 65 years old going against two 20-year-olds. What you mean you can't take a loss? But there are some guys out there who refuse to take a pinfall even at 60 years old.
That happened. I'm not going to name the person on air just out of respect. I was at an indie show this past summer and that happened. The guy wouldn't take the fall and the promoter basically kicked him out. Said fine, and then they did a completely different match with the other person.
I don't give a fuck. I know Rikishi was just doing some bullshit like that.
Yes, I heard about this. It was right after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. I mean, like, the way I knew Pat, I didn't know Pat, the guy who owns WrestlePro, was who he was until somebody was like, you remember that promoter who stood in the middle of the ring and gave out Sid Justice's phone number to everybody? when he no-showed the event, do you remember when that happened?
Yes.
And he gave some bullshit excuse, and then he He called him up in the center of the ring and let the fucking fans boo, and then said out loud what his number was. That was Pat.
That's hilarious.
That was one of WrestlePro's first not WrestlePro's. PWS. I'm actually wearing the PWS shirt today.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Syndicate.
Yeah, the old PWS. But
Yeah,
that was one of that may have been his first show, Pat. The first show he was involved in, and he got stood up. So I'm a very strong believer of, if somebody pulls that kind of shit and you know about it, fucking put that nigga on blast. Let people know so that if they see him at a convention, they think twice about, am I going to go give this guy, my money? Because if I know that you're old and you still won't do business, I'm not going to give you money. Like, I'm just not going to.
Hey,
Like
it's funny you mentioned that. Dino just said Sid Justice no showed a event over in the whole tour in the UK, and his agent took the money, and Sid never showed up.
It's apparently a thing Sid does. This isn't the first time. And then he makes some bullshit about how first it was he overslept, then they bought him a new ticket, then he never showed up at the airport. Like, he gave him this. Then his wallet was stolen. That was the argument. His wallet was stolen.
Yeah.
No, man, put this nigga on blast. Now, anytime I've seen him after that, I won't give him money because I know what he's done to people before. Why am I going to continue to contribute? Maybe it would have been cool to have something signed by Sid Vicious, but you're a douchebag that stands people up for money. I may have gone to one of those shows looking to see you, and you no-showed.
Yeah.
So I take that personally. I really take something like that personally because I feel like you're taking money and running. Like, you're a thief. And I think everybody should know that. So, I mean, at least if I ever hear anything.
The other thing I hate, and I have no problem putting him on blast, and I probably have already done this, is Hardcore Holly. When I saw Hardcore Holly last month, he literally walked in the arena, said hello to two people, walked into the locker room, did his match, said how after his match when he wrestled Keith Lee, about how he loved working the indies because he could talk to the fans now and be more personable with them. Gets off the mic, goes in the locker room, and never came back out.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of people, unfortunately. And like you said, like, I think that this, because, you more so than I do lately are having more contact with people, I think this should also be used as a platform to, tell people about the good and the bad experiences you may have with a particular talent.
Absolutely.
Not to run anybody down, but here, this is what happened, this is how I saw it, and because I know if I hear that someone's really being a dick to another fan, I will think twice about buying, ever contributing money to that person's merchandise.
You just reminded me of something because it happened on Sunday, so I haven't been able to talk about it because it seemed like it was forever ago, but I didn't talk about it last week. Was Shane Douglas. Super nice guy.
Yeah, you said you had a long talk with him.
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes.
And about some ridiculously mundane shit like traffic.
Yeah, that was part of it,
But that's what's cool about it, is that you weren't a fucking mark. You had a human conversation with Shane Douglas that lasted 20 minutes.
Like I had mentioned to you, all I did was I went up and was just like, hey, Shane, like the first ever live wrestling show I ever was at, you wrestled on. And he's like, oh, who did I wrestle on? I told you this. I told him it was Playboy Buddy Rose. And then he just proceeded to tell me like 10 minutes of his stories.
See, look, for the people who may ever listen to this, I'm not telling you this because I think I'm a know-it-all. I'm telling you this because I've done it firsthand. You meet somebody, you're lucky enough to get a chance to get somebody alone long enough to have even a small conversation. They don't give a fuck how much you're a fan of theirs because you sound like an ass kisser. They don't. Stop with the generic shit you hear every fan say. Everything that goes through your head the moment you see somebody, throw it out because it's cliche. These people don't want to be spoken. Like, how many times do you really want to repeat the same shit over and over and over again to people before you get tired? Look, come on. You see somebody, Just have a conversation. Just talk to them. Bring up something. Mike was perfect. Hey man, one of the first live action wrestling I ever saw, you were there. I'm sure he doesn't hear that very often.
Mm-mm.
So kind of come at them with something that you don't think that they hear every day. Something that you would be interested in if you were the guy who got the same questions every fucking day. How did you get started with wrestling? Ask who he's watching now. If you see him at an indie show, oh, like, who do you have your eye on? Like, if he happens to bring up being a fan of indie wrestling, oh, like, what are you watching right now? Have, like, a conversation you'd have with another wrestling fan. Don't have a conversation with you're a mark. Like, put yourself on their level. That's my advice. And it works. Mike had a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
If
Oh,
you're going to meet a wrestler at a wrestling show, they already know you're a fan. So telling them you're a fan is annoyingly redundant.
yeah, I can only imagine. Dino is saying when he first met Chris Travis, he thought he was a real prick, to be honest, but he said, "How wrong was I?"
That's another example that could happen. You could just have a bad experience that maybe it was you. Maybe you approached something wrong, I mean? But it's good to get it out there instead of harboring ill feelings to talk about it. What
Absolutely.
sometimes
I've learned so much from being around more, and I hate using this term because it just annoys me,
the boys.
is more name
Oh,
talent.
okay, yeah.
I hate saying that, but I've gotten more comfortable where you just go up and you're like, "Hey," and you're just yourself.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a lot of people will just like, I'll give you an example. I was at the show Saturday night that Shane Douglas came to. It was like a surprise because it's maybe 30 minutes from the old ECW arena. So he was like in the area and they were honoring somebody. So he showed up and said a couple words and came down and, signed autographs, took pictures, whatever. As soon as he gets out of the ring and goes to sit down, some guy like starts hovering over him. And I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah, Dino knows one of the things I loathe the most are people who go and find celebrities on their time off for autographs, whether it be in the streets, whether it be at an airport, whether it be at a gym, whether it be at a mall with their family. I think those people are the rudest, most invasive, most disrespectful people on the planet. You're not there, like they're being a person at that time. Do you really want to be fucking stopped when you're walking with your family to be asked about a question about your job?
Not at all.
They're who they are. Yes, they're a celebrity, woohoo. That does not give you a right to be all over their space. And those are the people I hate the most. Waiting at airports at 3 o'clock in the morning when these guys get off at 8-hour flights and have cameras shoved in their face, take a picture of me. Fuck you.
Like, I'm amazed, and I'm not trying to bash people, but I'm amazed. I'm sitting there, and this has happened to me before, and this happened to me Sunday. I'm talking to Shane Douglas, having a conversation. Just, general conversation. Doesn't have to be about anything exciting. And a fan walking through this mall type area that he was in, and he literally sees him, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's Shane Douglas," and the guy starts crying, a grown man.
See, I don't get that.
And I was just like, wow.
No, I mean,
I'm not bashing the person, but I was just like, I don't. Out of
no,
maybe like.
it's okay to have a not positive opinion on something and not be bashing them. That didn't sound like you were bashing them.
Yeah,
But
no,
no, you're right.
I'm
It's
just
weird.
like, I could only see myself doing that for maybe one or two people.
I don't know if I'd cry. I mean, like,
Not cry, but like be holy shit.
Oh yeah, I may be awestruck by, seeing certain people, but I mean, it would never be to the point like where I'd cry. I just don't. What are you crying about? Not you. Just
And
like I want to look
yeah,
at these people
specific, yeah.
like what the fuck are you crying? Like you're crying? Like what's making you cry? I don't like crying sad. Like what do you have that much emotion for?
Yeah.
Like it's a person. And I think like as you get to know the other workers that are in the ring with these famous guys, you begin to realize that the lines begin to blur of if you're cool with junior worker or student worker and you're really friends with them, hey Mike, hey, what's going on? How are you? Blah 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 blah. And then the next thing you know, they're in the ring with a big name. Now you're the guy you are friendly with is now working a big name. It becomes a little bit easier, like you become more familiar with walking up because that guy's not that much different. Now he's in the ring with my friend. I could talk to my friend, no problem. I could talk to him, no problem.
Exactly.
So
I couldn't
that's
agree
logic,
more with you.
according to Rego.
Yeah, well, we'll have to make quotes of that. All right, everybody. We rambled on enough. We're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we'll see you back next week. Have a good night.